This is Jose Fuentes and my wife, Crissy Fuentes, of 32 years. We are on board Promesa, our brand new Nordhavn 63. We are at Club Náutico de San Juan in San Juan, Puerto Rico. We have been sailors all our lives, and since we married, we've always had a better sailboat than a house, and spent lots of time with our kids on the boats. Our Nordhavn is our first powerboat, and the way it all started was it actually started 32 years ago when I went on my first date with my wife, and and I asked her, would you be willing someday to move on a boat and sail around the world with me? And
of course I knew that if I said no, I was out the door on my first date.
So her answer was, sure, how many times? So that's why the boat is called Promesa, promise in Spanish, because it's kind of a promise that she made at that time.
We have big families, so they all have come over to see the boat. We have a ton of friends. We're originally from Puerto Rico. Joe and I lived in Puerto Rico all of our lives. So everybody we know is in Puerto Rico. So we've had people coming in through the boat day in, day out, night in, night out. And I cannot tell you enough how impressed every Puerto Rican has been with the boat.
And it looks so nice that everybody loves it.
We've had people, people come here and you say, come over for drinks at 6, and they're a little apprehensive because it's a boat and we've always been on a sailboat, so they're like, okay, here, we'll go for drinks. We've had people coming in for drinks and they leave at midnight, 6 hours later. And I'm not even feeding them, I'm just having appetizers. But, they just feel so comfortable here, and the boat has been just accepted by the pickiest people we know. They have fallen in love with it.
There really was never any doubt in our mind that Nordhavn was the boat that we wanted. We didn't know what model, but for what we wanted to do and what our plans were, and being used to sailing at 7 or 8 knots, it was perfect, and it was strong, and it was comfortable, and we had space for our kids, and we had space for toys. We have a lot of toys. Bicycles and windsurfers and dinghies and paddle boards and scuba gear and all that stuff. So we were pretty sold that what we wanted was Nordhavn. So it's about 2.5 years ago we started looking at the models and aggressively going to boat shows and looking at the Nordhavns, and then we started talking to Ben Sprague, our salesperson, and he set up for us to go and see and get on. We'd never been on a Nordhavn. We'd never been out in the ocean in Nordhavn.
We're between the 60 and the 63. Joe was turning 60. And I thought, what a perfect gift, I fulfill my promise. We move on a boat and it's a 60 for your 60th. But, I just didn't want to deal with a flying bridge. And then we always, like we always do, we put things up to vote. Our 3 kids, we put the drawings of both boats, but all 3 went, 63. So I went, okay, 63. So basically, because our kids have always voted for the big decisions in our lives, and they really enjoy what we do in our lifestyle, so we went for the 63.
So we flew to Dana Point to meet Dave, and Ben was with us, and Jim, yeah. And we sat at a big table there. We went over the whole thing, and right there we signed an agreement and put down our deposit. And to the day, the project took 2 years. From the day we signed the contract to the day we signed ownership and made the final payment was 2 years, which is what about they had said it would take. One thing we did that we would recommend to anybody building a brand new Nordhavn is go to China.
We should have gone from the beginning.
Go to the factory, because a couple things. First of all, you see things that you can't really see in photos. They just look different, and you see all the options that are available from every boat. And we incorporated in this boat stuff from other models that we liked and got incorporated into this boat. And when the people working at South Coast and Shaman met us and we sat down with them, and they put a face to the project, and you've made the effort to go out and see what they're doing. You know, it's a different thing. They kind of embrace your project. They want to make sure that
that you're happy.
And it was a great experience. I mean, it's amazing what these people can do as craftsmen. Seeing a complete full cherry or teak tree, and they mill the whole thing there. They make their own stainless steel. They make their own glass.
They bend the glass. The factory is truly amazing.
It's really an experience to go see.
So when the boat arrived and Joe said we moved on the boat, we literally moved on the boat. We got rid of everything we owned. We just kept what we could fit on the boat, and we just could not be happier. It was very liberating. I love it, living on the boat. The kitchen is amazing.
And the commissioning took about 6 weeks, which is exactly what they told us it was going to take. So we're pretty amazed that they kept on schedule.
And the guys were exceptional.
Phenomenal team.
I mean, it was incredible. We had the best experience.
Rob and his guys were just great, and we were there a lot on the boat and behind them, checking, learning from them. There was never a bad phase or you got to give us space. Or no, it was, they always worked with us. They would get there early and very, very accommodating.
Being around the people from Nordhavn and in North Palm Beach long enough, we got a lot of hints and advice, which helped us. So we really want to get a good grip on the boat and on all the systems and be able to be self-sufficient and go anywhere we want on our own. And if we want people to join us, fine, that's great. But
if we don't need anyone.
So and we figured 2 years would be a good amount of time to really understand everything.
So we're planning now to we'll be here for the winter, and hopefully in a couple of weeks we're going up. Actually down to the Virgin Islands and maybe St. Martin, St. Bart's, spend some time there, come back to Puerto Rico for a little work before we go back to North Palm Beach, do some very minor warranty stuff that needs to be done there, and then off to Annapolis. And hopefully this summer we're planning on going to up to Rhode Island and Maine and explore that area that we've never explored before we're back down here for next winter.